Growth was not my plan. Maybe there was a way out. Do I have to do this, I thought? Soon I would jump off the diving board for the very first time. I felt sick, nervous, yet excited. What about you? Have you ever been there in your own life or work experiences? Think of a moment in time. You'll never make it. It's too risky. Don't jump. It's a long way down. You're crazy. What if I die? Terrified, I managed to get to the edge of the diving board. I was alone, isolated. It was an irrational fear, and it was real. I was stuck, frozen in time. I stood there thinking on my end, and not of any beginnings. What about you? Have you ever been there in your own life or work experiences? Think about a moment in time. Pride, joy, exhilaration. I did it. Of course I did it. From fear to life, from pain to thriving, from fear to courage to confidence. It was so easy. There are so many more things to accomplish and learn. I felt connected as I joined the group of capable diving board jumpers, those able to enjoy the thrill of risk. What about you? Have you ever been there in your own life or work experiences? Think of a moment in time. What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. Connection. We are all connected. It's true. People, trees, roots, the connections are invisible yet very real. Do you feel it? Trees connect under the ground and through the air. We connect with eye contact, touch, and energy. The connection never ends. The connections enable our growth. Connection and change requires courage. The model of growth for emerging leaders. We are all emerging leaders at different stages of our lives and careers, taking on challenges that bring fear. The model offers a path for understanding and planning for courageous life through growth. 4 quadrants, 4 phases. It starts at birth in red through to maturity in green, around through the land of creative destruction, and back around through renewal to rebirth and the start of something new. The end is where we start from. In quadrant 1, it's the beginning and the birth of something new. Infinity offers hope. Draw infinity on your palm. Go ahead, do it now. Brave Apple sits in her tree at the top of the hill. Life is good, life is hard. She feels alone, disconnected from the other apples, her tree, and the orchard. From her branch, she can see the whole orchard. She sees a tree that's brighter than she, brighter than the others. She can see the glow, but she cannot feel it. A desire to connect to this tree overwhelms Brave Apple. To learn more about the life that surrounds the beautiful tree, Brave Apple will have to get closer. Should I risk it, she asks herself. Should I take the leap to learn more? You'll never make it, it's too risky. Don't jump. It's a long way down. You're crazy. What if I die? She is uncertain, scared, confused, yet curious and torn between known and unknown. Brave Apple was terrified. She was alone, isolated. She was stuck for a long time, frozen in time. She stood there thinking of her end and not of any beginnings. Fear is an emotion that tends to override all others and to control our actions. Not surprisingly, its function is to protect our safety, our very existence. Courage could be described as the ability to act when one might expect fear to interfere with the ability to act. In general, we need to stop fear being able to interfere with our judgment, but leave it capable of carrying out its danger avoidance function. Well, what about you? How can an awareness of your emotions give you the courage to emerge? In the start of her self-awareness, Brave Apple listens to the truth within her. Her decision is clear. She twists and turns until she pops free from her branch. In that falling moment, she hears all of pale green, the leaves, branches, and other apples gasp. The surrounding trees sway in her direction as if to propel her towards her quest. In that moment, the story of Brave Apple becomes legend. Joy, pride, exhilaration. She did it. Of course she did. From fear to life, from pain to thriving, from fear to courage to confidence. Now her desire to learn is overwhelming. Brave Apple doesn't know what she is searching for, yet in her core, she knows she did the right thing, that she is where she needs to be. She watches, listens, and feels, trying to learn the secret of the glowing tree. Learning, listening, watching, changing. Brave Apple went through a period of birth, emotion, growth, and awareness towards maturity. As an emerging leader, she put growth first. She was aware of what was required for change to occur. She did not dwell on what went wrong. She did not dwell on what could have been. Brave Apple acted alone, for her and for a better future. In the model of growth, once we become aware of the emotion and we push through, we begin a beautiful journey of learning. Well, what about you? In your learning journey, what will you find that you hadn't seen before? What will you learn? What will your courage bring you? The day is hot and the glowing tree's leaves are losing water. The signal is perfect. From her branches, it reaches her roots with the message to take in more water. Then the earth becomes thirsty. The roots release a signal to her leaves, asking them to close their pores so they won't lose even more precious water. Brave Apple's life on her tree seems so far away now. She celebrates her path, for it has brought her here. And even as her own life begins to fade, she feels the strength, connection, and life of the trees around her. She becomes brighter. She begins to glow. As part of our learning journey, a period of creative destruction is inevitable. It is a necessary and natural part of our growth. As we cross back through emotions, we can easily get stuck again. Sadness, pain, regret. Is it the end? It sure feels like it. The apple reaches deep within her core and does something the trees will tell stories about. She sends her own signal through the orchard. The signal is strong. The answer is provided. She believes. Brave Apple is ready. For whatever lies ahead of her, she is at last ready. Renewal always follows creative destruction when we push through the emotion. What about you? Do you see change as being pleasurable? When it seems like the end, do you see new beginnings? When growth, adventure, and confidence intersect, you have leadership. Start with legacy. Enjoy the learning journey. Increase your awareness. Gather a tribe. Most importantly, celebrate. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate your losses. What about you? Do you celebrate the path that brought you where you are? Have you described your legacy to plan your own model of growth? The final test of a leader is that he leaves behind in others the conviction and will to carry on. Walter Lippmann. We are all emerging leaders. Our role is to dare to leave the familiar. As organizations, our role is to listen and allow this growth. In the unknown, we will grow. And in this growth, we will impact our world. What are you ready for? Take the leap and grow.